Hello there, I'm Big Alias. Redfall, huh? Redfall. What a time to be alive. And by what a time, I mean great videos about... Oh man, just how much this game sucked. It really did suck ass, man. What is Redfall? Redfall's a game. And listen, I'm about to join a very unique club. A unique club of people who have actually finished Redfall. I know that I'm near the end, and I'm going to be at the end of the game soon. And the reason that, not many people have finished this game is because it sucks. It's not a very good video game. But yeah, I'm going to finish it. I'm playing through it, and I am going to get it done because I want to, do all of these Game Pass games, and I know I'm near the end. I'll talk about it now. Why did it suck? Why did people not like it? Well, I downloaded it when it first came out, as did everyone else who has Game Pass, and I gave it a shot, and I didn't like it either. The reason I didn't like it was because I just really didn't like the gameplay overall. I didn't like the animations. I thought they were too silly and over the top, and they hindered the gameplay. But most of all, I hated the fact that it was 30 FPS with no other option. I really despise that. I think it's very important for FPS games. I mean, look at Halo 3 on the 360 versus in the Master Chief Collection. They're two different games. I mean, it's very important in an FPS to get the FPS right. I just realized that. Yeah, it's an important thing. And in Redfall, it just completely sucked the fun out of it, and it just was not fun gameplay. I didn't have very good fun with it at all. So I re-downloaded it recently, hearing that they had actually done a patch after that to give it 60 FPS. So I thought I'd give it a go and revisit it. Now the gunplay is actually bearable, and you can actually play the game. Doesn't mean it's any good though, because it's not, unfortunately. I mean, I tried to give it a shot, and there are, some decent moments in the game. I wanted to like this game. I wanted this review that I give you now to be me saying, actually, I don't think people gave it a fair shot, and I thought it was actually pretty great. I want to be like these Snyder fans who appreciate this thing that objectively isn't so great, but they still enjoyed it. And I wanted to be that guy, but I just can't with this game. And it's frustrating because, again, there are some good moments. I think visually the game isn't amazing, and I think it's too repetitive and stuff like that, but I'm a sucker for games that bring like a brutal side to suburban American neighborhoods, and that has it's dripping in that, and I do like some of the decisions art wise. I think there's some very cool moments, like you'll run into a building and it will be like crushed away, like crumbled away because something happened in there. There's lots of like weird mystical shit that I do really appreciate too, but man, the gameplay just sucks. It's just not good, and on top of the fact that a lot of it is very uninspired and there's not much going on in terms of the game. It's not very innovative and it's far too small for what it is. It's just the gameplay just isn't great. I mean, like at times the guns feel okay to shoot, but here's the big issue with Redfall, and here's the thing that people won't admit to you because the world is so obsessed with being hardcore gamers. I must be perceived as a hardcore. My middle name is I beat Dark Souls and I didn't even think it was very hard. My surname is Smith. It's people are obsessed with becoming a hardcore gamer. Well, let me tell you this. Redfall can be tremendously difficult. Just outrageously difficult. And also easy as hell and impossible not to complete. It's a really weird situation, and it's one that absolutely sucks. And in order to explain this to you, I want to explain how the gameplay works and in a way that sort of highlights the issues. So let's say, for example, we start with like 150 to 175 health, right? So that's how much health we're dealing with right now. Now the way the health system works is that it doesn't regenerate up until a point. At this point, you'll probably get between sort of 35 and 40 health regenerated if you're able to do that. But it takes about 4 to 5 bullets from cultists to die, and 2 or 3 swipes from maybe 4 if you're lucky, from a vampire to die. And unfortunately, it's one of those games where it doesn't really matter how well you dodge it. If the vampire was going to get you when it started the swipe, then it will get you. It doesn't really matter what happens, like in terms of you dodging it. If it sees you first, you're gonna get hit. And on top of that, it's quite possibly the worst type of enemy that in gaming, the type of enemy that I absolutely hate. And it's this giant vampire with lots of health that can like absorb you. It sucks the life out of you. And I already have something that does that. It's called a government. And it just sucks the life out of you and just pulls it out of you. And the most frustrating part is that you should be able to like duck behind cover and get away from this. And this works about 50% of the time. and the other 50% of the time it's just going to absorb the life out of you anyway, and it doesn't matter. And this happens way quicker than you might think. It can suck out all of your health in about 5 seconds flat, and you're done. That's it. And don't forget that while this is happening, you're being hit by vampires, you're being shot by cultists. These vampires take a ton of bullets as well. The cultists are very easy to take down, but again, they can attack you from range, but the vampires themselves take a ton of bullets to knock down. And here's the thing, I'm playing on the easiest difficulty in the game because I got really tired of the gameplay and I knocked it straight down to the easiest difficulty in the game. So you just keep dying. You're going to keep getting knocked down because you have such little ability to... You can recover health. There's like these health packs that will recover like... Again, if we're at 150, maybe 3 health packs will do a full heal, but it takes too long in the animation cycle for you to actually be doing anything about it. If you're being absorbed and you try to use one of these heals, it's just not going to happen for you. You are going to die in the process of it, and that completely sucks. And so yeah, it's just tremendously difficult. That cycle of constantly getting hit with attacks that are going to knock you out, whilst trying to fight back against heavily weighted enemies that take way more damage than you can. And it's awful. So why is it easy and easy to get through? Because once you've taken health out of an enemy, in most cases, it remains in that state. And when you've killed an enemy, it remains in that state as well. So you can just keep coming back to the fight and just chipping away, like that really good Doctor Who episode where he keeps bashing the wall. You can just keep coming back at each encounter and just knock them out that way. Just take out little bits at a time. But the thing that sucks the most about that, above all of this, the suckiest thing, is that in 2008, Rockstar released GTA 4, and in this game they realized that actually in an open world game we really should have an autosave feature that brings you back to a checkpoint in the mission, a checkpoint in the current mission that you're at. Not in this game. No, in this game you will respawn back at your nearest fast travel point or safe house, which can be very far away. I was in an encounter at a boat where every time I died, it took about 5 minutes to return to the encounter, and I died like 5 or 6 times. It took so long to finish this encounter, and I spent most of it just running. And at least in GTA, you could hop in a car. There's no driving in this game. You are running back to a fight over and over again. The entire gameplay loop is you run in, you chip away at the fight, you die, you come back, you run in, you chip away at the fight, you run in, you chip away, and that is it. It's repetitive strain. It's live, die, repeat. That's all you do in this game, and it sucks. It's the worst type of difficulty and the worst type of gameplay loop, and if it wasn't for that, it might have been okay. Now, I will say that this gets easier over time once you unlock better weapons, and I will say that over time you do there is definitely a sense of like progression in terms of how much more powerful you become and more adept to these battles. Fine, that is very true, but getting there is just an absolute grind and awful. It's just not fun at all, and even when you're there, like, it can just be completely frustrating, and it sucks. Yeah, it just sucks. What could have been like at least a bearable game, like maybe even a 7 out of 10, just becomes a complete frustrating grind, and that absolutely sucks. But that's Redfall. Do I recommend it? No. Do I recommend that you pay for it? No. Game Pass, if you've got nothing else going on, maybe give it a shot, but do bear in mind it's going to be very frustrating at first. But yes, that's Redfall, and I will see everyone later.
The PlayStation is only $149, and you can also get leading titles.